Okay, so having a look at Techmate from a technician side of things. So what you're going to want to do is log in with your technician's ID. So again, I'm going to log in as 1001 here. And that'll take me in. Okay, you'll notice that it asks me to clock in before I can see my scheduled work. So to clock in, all you need to do is move the slider in the top right over. Okay, that'll be the same thing when you leave. At the end of the day, you want to make sure you slide that back because that will also clock you out at the end of the day. Okay, you'll notice while I'm clocked in that I will see a list of jobs which I've currently been allocated. Okay, so I've only given myself one job today, and that's an MOT, service, and a VHC. If you guys work where you leave your jobs unassigned and basically just give the technician a job as them when they're ready, that can work within Techmate as well. It just means you won't see the jobs on the home screen here. What you'll do instead is click plus, click job work, and search for jobs using job numbers or registrations. Okay, that will do the exact same thing as if I was to click onto this job here. It would take you on. Okay, so starting off, you'll see in the top left we've got the time of the job, so they're dropping off at 10:30. You've got the date of the job. You've then got a mileage, a job number, and a job status. Mileage can be filled in at this point. Okay, if you're going to be doing a VHC on the car though, I would probably leave the mileage here and I would just fill it in when you're doing a VHC. The mileage here I'd only really fill out when you've not got a VHC on the vehicle. You'll see you've also got job status, so this is currently at booked in. You can update that as you're going along, so if you're awaiting parts, anything like that, you can change the job status as you go. The job status will automatically change as you start clocking onto labour lines. So if I was to go onto my MOT, my job status would go to in progress, and once I'd finished all my labour lines, my job status would go to complete. If I'd done one or two of my labour lines and I got pulled onto a different task, the job status would sit there as paused. So it will automatically update as you go through, but you do have that option there to overwrite it to something if needs be. Just below there, you'll see you've got the booking details. So here I've just wrote in MOT and service. That's a great place for the service advisors to make technicians aware of things like if you offer a service wash and the customer's specifically requested not to have one, put it in your booking details in Evolution and that will pull through onto the tablet. So then the technician's fully aware that when they do that card, they don't pass it round to the valeters. It is ready then for collection. They can scroll along from there and they will see information about the vehicle. So you can see the car that they're going to be working on. And then further along, you've got stuff like chassis number, key code, vehicle type, fuel type. If you're a motorhome dealer, you may want to change this slightly. You can see colour appears on our front page. Being that all vehicles may be white, you may want to switch that over and put chassis number on that first page. That can all be customised to suit yourselves. Below that, you'll see all the work that's on that job card. And there's also a tab there. If any parts have been allocated, all the parts will show there as well. So if I clock onto my first line, so my MOT, and hit my play, you can see there. So I would literally put the tablet down now and go do my MOT while my time ticks away. Okay. If there was anything that you noticed while you were doing the MOT, you wanted to put any notes, any photos against that line, there's a plus option right here where you can go add photo or add note. Okay, so if I was to add a photo, and let's say just take a photo of the desk I'm sat at. Oh, move that cable out of the way. Okay, take a photo. If you're not happy with it, take another. If you are, hit the tick. And that pops it on. And you can put a note about it if you want. So, needs replacing. We'll pretend that's about a part or something like that. And what that'll do is that'll then pop up to the service advisors with that note. Okay, when you're finished on the task, literally hit the stop and it'll ask, have you finished working on the current task? Yes or no. Okay, so I have. Oh, yeah, I have. So, yeah. You see that that line now shows as finished. The clipboard next to the play is just showing that there's a note or a photo attached. You'll now see my job status in the top right is updated to in progress. So moving on to the next one, so our service. Again, you can put the tablet down now and go do the service. If you got now halfway through your service and it was time for one of your breaks, okay, but you were still working on the service and that was going to be the job that you were going to come back to afterwards. Where we hit plus to add a photo or a note, you see new task available, okay. If I go into new task, you can see here, so I've got lunch break, phone call visitor, comfort break. That list can be as extensive or as short as you need it to be. I'm just going to go on to lunch break. You're currently clocked onto the following task, service. Would you like to clock off it and onto the new task? So yes, I would. And it's then going to ask me, have I finished working on the service? Okay. So if I say I have finished working on the service, I come off my lunch break and Techmate's going to go, right, what do you want to clock onto now? If I say no, I've not finished working on my service, as soon as I come off my lunch break, it's going to go, right, do you want to return back to the service? Makes things a bit easier for you. So no, I've not finished working on the service. Just put me onto my lunch break. As soon as I'm done on my lunch break and I hit stop, it goes, do you want to go back to the job that you're on previously? Yes. And you can see you're straight back to where you were. Okay, so clocking on to other tasks, lunch breaks, if you have to go do anything with customer contacts, workshop cleanup, assisting other technicians, it's really, really easy for you to jump off the task that you're doing and onto that task and then come straight back. So hit the stop. We have now finished working on the service. That's done. We now go onto our VHC. You'll notice on a VHC, next to the red stop, there is a traffic light icon, okay? Clicking the traffic light icon will take you into the VHC and will allow you to fill out the VHC form, okay? To do that, you want to refer to the VHC training video that we've recorded. We'll go through all that in there. All I'm going to do in this video is make reference to that takes you to the VHC, okay? So I'm going to just hit stop and say we've finished that job now. You'll notice my job status has changed to complete, so that's all done. I can go back to my home screen and that's ticked, that's done. Okay, if you want to tidy up that list, you've got down there at the bottom, show finished job sheets. If you untick that, it will hide that job and will only show you jobs that you've got sort of allocated that haven't yet been done. Finally, just from this home screen here, you can also clock to extra tasks. So the same way I went onto a lunch break while I was on a job, if you were at the home screen and you needed to go onto a break there and then, you could just do it from here. So you could clock onto your lunch break, you could go see a visitor, comfort break, or any of the other tasks that you've got set up. Finally, when you're done for the day, move your slider along and that will clock you out. And then it's up to yourself whether you want to log out or not. As long as you've clocked out, that's all that's needed. So I'm now going to log out and I'm at my home screen. Okay, and so that is Techmate.